In this video we will explore several literary works that delve into the intriguing concept of alienation. As most of the works studied this year deal with the theme of alienation, we had to find a way not to exclude too many authors, and at the same time to avoid treating superficially the ones that we did not exclude. For this reason, we will not treat the topics covered in excessive detail. On the other hand, we will also make connections to other subjects that have touched upon the theme of alienation. So, let's dive in.
Let's start with The Chimney Sweeper by William Blake. In this moving poem, Blake portrays the harsh reality faced by child chimney sweepers in 18th century London. Through powerful imagery and child's perspective, he highlights the alienation and exploitation endured by these innocent souls trapped in a cruel and uncaring world. The poem serves as a social critique, urging readers to recognize and challenge the dehumanizing effect of societal norms and economic systems.
Moving on, we have The Oval Portrait by Edgar Allan Poe. This haunting short story explores the theme of alienation through the character of the artist. Poe's masterful storytelling unveils the dark consequences of obsession and neglect.
Now, let's turn to Hard Times by Charles Dickens. In this novel, Dickens presents a sharp critique of the Industrial Revolution and its degrading effect on society. Set in the fictional town of Cooktown, the story portrays a society driven by utilitarianism and devoid of compassion. The characters in Hard Times are trapped in a world of alienation where human connections are replaced by mechanical routines and pursuits of profit. Dickens exposes the consequences of such alienation, as individuals struggle to find meaning and fulfillment in a soulless existence.
Continuing with Charles Dickens, we come to Oliver Twist. This novel investigates the theme of alienation through the experiences of its young protagonist, Oliver. Born into poverty and subject to abuse and neglect, Oliver is constantly marginalized and alienated from a society that treats him as an outcast. Dickens sheds light on the social alienation endured by the most vulnerable members of the society, revealing the sharp division between the rich and the poor, and the dehumanizing effects of societal indifference.
Next, we have The Portrait of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. In this Gothic novel, Wilde explores the theme of alienation through the character of Dorian Gray. The novel's central premise revolves around the portrait that ages and reflects the moral decay of the protagonist while he remains eternally young and beautiful. As Dorian indulges in a life of hedonism and vice, he becomes increasingly detached from society, leading to his own self-imposed isolation and spiritual alienation.
Moving forward, we encounter Unknown Citizen by Wystan Auden. This satirical poem scrutinizes the conformity and the dehumanization of modern society. Auden presents anonymous citizens whose life is reduced to a collection of bureaucratic statistics. Through ironic praise and a bureaucratic language, Auden emphasizes the alienation of the individual in a society that values uniformity over individuality.
Now let's explore George Orwell's dystopian masterpiece, 1984. Set in a totalitarian society controlled by Big Brother, Orwell vividly portrays the alienation and oppression of individuals. Through constant surveillance, censorship and thought control, the party strips its citizens of their individuality and enforces a collective conformity. The novel serves as a chilling warning against the dangers of authoritarianism and the erosion of personal freedom.
Continuing our journey, we come across Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury. Set in a future where books are banned and critical thinking is discouraged, Bradbury explores the alienation caused by society devoid of intellectual pursuits. The protagonist, Guy Montag, awakens the emptiness of his existence and rebels against a system that suppresses individuality and the quest for knowledge.
Next, we have Waiting for Godot by Samuel Beckett. This absurd display portrays two characters, Vladimir and Estragon, who wait endlessly for the arrival of someone named Godot. Through their future waiting, Beckett captured the existential condition of human beings, trapped in a cycle of meaningless existence and craving for purpose and connection. The play delves into the themes of loneliness, uncertainty, and the absurdity of life.
Now, let's dig into Look Back in Anger by John Osborne. This groundbreaking play presents the disillusionment and alienation experienced by the post-war generation in Britain. The protagonist, Jimmy Porter, embodies the frustration and anger of a young man trapped in a society he despises. Osborne's exploration of class conflict, societal constraint, and personal dissatisfaction resonated with audiences, capturing the alienation of an entire generation.
Lastly, we encounter The Caretaker by Harold Pinter. This enigmatic play explores the complexities of human relationships and the power dynamics that breed alienation. Pinter's characters, Aston, Mick, and Davis, engage in a battle for control, revealing the fragile nature of identity and the struggle for dominance. The play presents a bleak portrayal of the human condition, highlighting the inherent isolation and mistarts the pervade interpersonal connections.
Let's make connections to other subjects that have also explored the theme of alienation.
In philosophy, we find Karl Marx's concept of alienation, particularly regarding the worker. Marx argued that capitalism alienates workers from the fruits of their labor, leading to a sense of disconnection and powerlessness.
In the realm of art, Surrealism delves into the theme of alienation. For instance, René Magritte's painting *The Son of Man* portrays a man with an apple hiding his face, symbolizing the sense of estrangement and the hidden identity experienced by individuals.
In Italian literature, we have Zeno's Conscience by Italo Svevo. This novel explores the alienation of the protagonist, Zeno, as he grapples with his own inner conflicts and the complexities of human existence.
Lastly, talking about civic education and alienation in contemporary society, we must acknowledge the impact of social media on our lives. While social media can connect us in many ways, it also poses challenges, as individuals can feel disconnected and isolated in the virtual world.
As we conclude our exploration of the theme of alienation, we have seen how literature, philosophy, art, and various subjects intertwine to shed light on this profound human experience. Through these works, we are reminded of the importance of connection, empathy, and understanding in combating the alienation that permeates our lives.
Thank you for joining us on this journey through the theme of alienation. Remember that it is through awareness and compassion that we can build a more inclusive and connected world. We would like to conclude this video with a quote from the 19th century philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche.
The individual has always had to struggle to keep from being overwhelmed by the tribe. If you tried it, you will be lonely often and sometimes frightened, but no price is too high to pay for the privilege of owning yourself.